use your imagination, and it's interesting. Anyway, Paolo Uccello. This is a very interesting one. It almost looks like Escher type of stuff. Maybe Escher was influenced by this weird surrealistic style that we see. 1460 to 65. It's called La Tabaid. Paolo Uccello. There's a lot of different things going on here. First of all, you have Jesus on the cross up there on the left, and people, milling around the crucifix. You see that there's somebody up there on a platform on the top right, and he's praying, and there's a rainbow over him. And sure enough, if you look very closely, well, that rainbow is very beautiful. And then you notice on the bottom right, you see another image of Jesus on the cross. So these are like different scenes. But then when you look out into where he's looking in the sky has some strange celestial phenomena going on here. There's no doubt about that. There's some weird apparitions occurring in the sky. And, that could be indicative of some type of sighting, some type of UFO event. Very, very cool. Then you have Mary coming in through one of these eye-shaped windows on the bottom left. That's pretty wild, too. But then we get into the center part, and this is where things really get interesting. There's some kind of church service happening down there, and everybody's around the pastor. But then you look up on the hill above where the trees are, and there you see Jesus on the cross, and there is clearly something that, again, looks like a flying saucer. It is red down below him. And again, maybe you'd say, well, all the trees look like that too. Yeah, but it's red, and it seems to have a trail coming off of it. And then you had that phenomena in the sky when we went back to here that looks very suspicious as well. So again, what is that UFO thing? It could be a manifestation. Again, it has the right shape to be one of these so-called Bellcraft. So then somebody on my page put this one in. It said Draconair, which may mean UFO, Teoria de Constação. And I actually found this later on. Notice the illustration on the bottom. There's text on the bottom, as you can see. This is from a Romanian church, and I actually found stuff on it. Grok found it, actually, and then I copied it over. They say it could be red because of the blood of Jesus. That's possible. It is possible, anyway. Anyway, this RomaniaInsider.com, UFO-like object depicted in wall painting in medieval Romanian church. Notice it has the same type of flower petals that we saw in the one that looked like a watch, which is pretty freaking awesome to me. Pretty freaking awesome. So there again, is a detailed view of it without the stuff that we saw on the bottom before, which was the text down there. So this image has more of the text included. But anyway, let's read about this a little bit more. The 13th century monastery church located inside the medieval citadel in Sighisoara, Transylvania region of Romania. The name of the church is Biserica Mănăstiri, so the Biserica Monastery, which was burned to the ground in the 17th century and was then rebuilt. So interestingly enough, when it was burned to the ground, that's the illustration. You see there's fire on the building, and they have this weird UFO over it. It looks like a UFO to me. So sounds like Nikola Tesla. Nicola Tescula, the manager of the History Museum in Sighisoara, I think I got that right, Sighisoara, said the following: the church is evangelical, and the image has a secondary role or is less representative. Indeed, there is a painting in the sacristy of the church with a religious scene that represents a cloud, perhaps Elijah's assumption to heaven, which looks like a dome, but can lead to a more modern representation that might make us think of a UFO. So it's literally painted inside the church. And then here's another link, another article about it. The caption on the painting that we read at the bottom says, "Israel, put your hope in the Lord." And remember, it's an illustration of a UFO. And the image is thought to date from just after 1523, when the Bible was first translated into German. UFO experts have drawn a comparison with other well-known paintings which seem to depict flying saucers, such as the 1710 painting Baptism of Christ by Ert de Gelder, which we already had. So there again it is. You can see this is right when the fire was taking place, almost implying that the UFO could help preserve people. But notice how distinctive the structure is. It's got this point on the bottom, it's got these petals, and that other illustration that we saw had the same thing. This is pretty freaking cool. And I love this type of UFO research when we can get this detailed, that we're getting these types of images. I just love it. So here's another one. This is from 1600, The Glorification of the Eucharist by Bonaventura Salimbeni. Again, from 1600, in the Church of San Lorenzo in San Pietro Montalcino, Italy. And so now what we have is, this is an inset in the wall here, and there's pillars on either side. We have Jesus and maybe the Father, and they're holding on to some very interesting, almost Sputnik-like object. What is that supposed to be? Well, it could be the globe, and they got these funny needles that they're poking into it there. Maybe that's an illustration of the Earth, but it also looks an awful lot like a UFO type of probe or something. I mean, we don't really know what this is, but it's very interesting, and it does very much relate to the idea of UFOs. And then again, you have the dove with the kind of oval around him. So, you know, that's a very, very fascinating UFO-like image once again that we're seeing here. So I love it. Serena Bella says, David, I'm loving this. It's very cool. It should have been redacted. Well, yeah, there might be little things here and there, but whatever. Here's another one. Notre Dame in Beaune, Burgundy, 1330, called the Magnificent. Notre Dame's, Notre Dame. Burgundy later got integrated into France, by the way. So this is Notre Dame, France. So there, the Magnificent, people are calling it the Magnificent, and look at what's on the horizon.